Good afternoon. I'm DuBose Porter, Chairman of the Democratic Party of Georgia, and I'm here with a number of folks that were excited to bring the message about celebrating Delta Day in Georgia, one of our biggest employees, and why it's important to keep the right working environment here in Georgia so we all can grow. Joining me is our candidate for Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Amico, Congressman Hank Johnson, Senator Valencia Seay, Representative Derrick Jackson, Representative Debra Bazemore, and Charlie Fleming, President of the AFL-CIO. Join me in welcoming Sarah Amico.
Thank you. I'm so proud to be here today. 93 years ago today was the founding of Delta Airlines, our state's largest private employer. Over 33,000 families in Georgia depend upon Delta Airlines not only for a paycheck, but for the benefits and career paths that put their family on path to the American dream. And the Democratic Party of Georgia understands that the preservation of that access to the American dream is essential, not only to our employers, but to the people of Georgia as well. And unlike our Republican counterparts who played politics with Delta's tax credits in the state Senate this year over a tussle with the NRA, the Democratic Party of Georgia and the candidates and representatives that you see represented here today know that we will always put the people of Georgia first before any special interests. You see, we not only want to continue to encourage private employers like Delta Airlines to invest in our people, we want them to be assured that they will have elected officials in the state of Georgia who will reciprocate by making the 21st century investments in our people to create a 21st century workforce that can lead in a 21st century economy. That is who we are as Democrats. We know that in parts of rural Georgia, where your access to health care is failing, where 6 of our rural hospitals have closed in the last 5 years alone, we know that in those 63 counties in Georgia without a pediatrician, in the 79 counties that have no OBGYN, we know that economic development is going farther and farther away from a real opportunity for your people. We can't have chronically underfunded schools in this state and expect employers like Delta Airlines or like Amazon to want to come and invest in our people when our state's leadership won't make the same effort. So what I hope you'll hear today is not only a celebration of the gratitude that we have for Delta, not just for the business that they've helped us bring to the state, for the role, the vital role that they play in our economic development, but for their willingness to give back to our people and our communities. I hope that Delta sees representatives here that believe they want to make those same investments. And I want them to reach out for the business leaders in the Atlanta community, for companies all over this country who are considering expanding your operations here in Georgia. If you are considering adding jobs, I'm a business owner myself, and for the past 15 years, I've saved and created thousands of jobs in 90 locations all over this continent. I know what it takes to succeed. I know what it takes to have the kind of opportunities for your people to put a new office, a new factory, a new hub of economic development in Main Street where it's needed most. And what it takes first and foremost is leadership. Leaders who actually want to do the hard, difficult work of democracy, who want to create the kind of environment where employers can come in and give people not just a paycheck, but a path to prosperity. That is who we are as a party. That is what every person standing here with me today represents. And for too long, Georgia has suffered from state leaders like our current Lieutenant Governor, who would rather play politics with the future of the airline's employees than they would problem solve. They know it's easier to play politics. And look, I get it. I'm not sure I'd want to own their track record on rural health care, rural broadband, chronically underfunded public schools either. But there's simply no excuse not to make the investments our people require to have the kind of future our children deserve. That is who we are as Democrats. That is why I'm so proud to be standing here today. And that is why I encourage every business leader, not just in Georgia, but across this country. If you're thinking about investments in this state, I want you to have confidence. I want you to have confidence that the Democratic leadership we're going to elect up and down that ballot this year is going to do the right thing. We're going to invest in our people so that they can succeed and your business can succeed as well, because we know it's a partnership. We know it's a partnership with labor. We understand what it takes for the rising tide to truly lift all boats. And with that, I'm going to introduce Congressman Hank Johnson, and he's going to speak a little bit as well. But I'm so proud to be here today celebrating the rich heritage of Delta Airlines in our state, and here's to 93 more years. I very much look forward to working with you, Delta.
Thank you, Sarah. I tell you, Sarah is a part of Georgia history, which we made last week. First, with respect to our gubernatorial race, with Stacey Abrams being the first African-American female to be elected by a major party, to receive the nomination of a major party for a gubernatorial election in the United States of America, the first one. Georgia made history last week. 76% of the vote, 153 of 159 counties. That was a resounding victory for Democrats and for the state of Georgia. And also, Georgia made history last week by nominating Sarah Riggs Amico of the state of Georgia. She's a wife and a mother. She brings a lot to the table. Born in a rural area, she is now a business owner, family-owned business, employing thousands of truckers and mechanics. She cares about working people in this country, and she knows what it takes in order to put people back to work. And she's a woman who is going to deliver results for the people of Georgia, just as she has done for her business. And so let's give Sarah a hand. People look at Georgia from across the nation because Georgia is a great place to do business, and it's been that way for some time. But it doesn't always have to be that way. We gotta have to work and lead the effort so that Georgia can continue to be number one. And when people across the nation watch TV ads and see politicians pulling shotguns on teenagers to score a cheap political point, they wonder what kind of leadership is that Georgia will produce. When people read the papers and they understand that a pillar of Georgia's corporate community, Delta Airlines, when that corporation gets punished and penalized for making a corporate decision, people see that in this nation, and they wonder whether or not Georgia is the place to locate people like Amazon that can come in and plop down 50,000 jobs. We're in play, Georgia. And but yet people across the nation see the shenanigans that are being played by people who aspire to the highest offices in Georgia. I think that Georgians know that we can do a lot better than that. So we can do a lot better than that with people like Stacey Abrams and Sarah Riggs Amico. And citizens have a right in Georgia to choose what kind of Georgia we want to have. Do we want to have a Georgia of shotgun pullers, or do we want to have a Georgia of job makers and job creators? And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to yield the floor to the great senator from the 34th District of Georgia, none other than Senator Valencia Seay.
I am Senator Valencia Seay, and I am so proud to stand before you to say we house the world's busiest airport, and with that comes Delta Airlines. That's right. Congratulations, Delta Airlines, 93-year anniversary. I am proud to stand here. But like any family, Delta is a part of my Senate district family. We have had differences, but guess what? When Delta was in trouble, when they were filing for bankruptcy, I stood tall with Delta with my button that said, keep Delta, my Delta. Because Delta is important to my Senate district and all of Georgia. We should never put a special interest before family when Delta has been here for 93 years.
Amen.
We need to make sure we know where our truth lies. And when we look at the other side, they have shown us that they will fall for the okie doke. And that is not the way we go. Right now, we know that Delta has already pledged to the Clayton County Public School System $18 million to replace the East Plus that will be carried on through 2019. Yes, that's family stepping up to the task. When the dollars were leaving our district, Delta stood up. I stand today with all these people knowing that Delta is right here where we want them, in my Senate district where the world's busiest airport resides. I am proud to say for 18 years I've been in the General Assembly, Delta and I are still good friends, Delta, and we want to keep Delta, our Delta. And now I will introduce my counterpart in the House, Representative Derrick Jackson, who can bring it further.
Good afternoon. I am Derrick Jackson. I represent District 64. District 64 has a plethora of Delta employees. Delta, happy anniversary. You are a true corporate partner. You are the reason why in District 64 we can walk, live, work, and play. When you have, on the other side, a bunch of gimmicks and shenanigans, clearly that is not the right type of politics we need. You need a business partner like the House of Representatives, on the Senate and the House, of Democrats. Once we have elected the next governor, which is Stacey Abrams, you will also have a partner under that gold dome. What is my point? My point is very simple. You need to make sure when we are open for business, when we continue to say we're the #1 state to do business the last 5 years, other Fortune 500 companies also need to see that we're open for business. And Delta could be a true testament that we're open for business. And that's the reason why they've been here as long as they have. We're going to continue to do the right thing. We encourage everyone. Let's turn Georgia blue, continue to show that we're the #1 state to do business, and we're going to remain the #1 state to do business because Georgia's going to be a blue state from the governor ticket to the lieutenant governor to the congressman to the representatives and senate. We are the right kind of partners that you need to have under that gold dome to make sure that we're not removing and penalizing companies. We cannot be in the business of penalizing companies when they are true corporate partners. Now I would like to yield the floor to my good friend of District 63, Jones-Bazemore.
As was said, my name is Debra Bazemore, and I represent District 63, which encompasses a portion of Fulton, Fayette, and Clayton. I sit on the Clayton delegation, so I know the different conversations we've had regarding Delta. But I want to congratulate Delta today, 93 years in the community. 93. But it's taken, what, a session for Republicans to undo what has been done, what is steadfast, what people rely on. As I walk among my constituents, I hear the concerns, and I'm concerned. Not only just for my constituent, my daughter works for Delta, and she has 2 children, my grandchildren. And so if they want to play politics and take away from them, do they not understand that it's a trickle-down effect? It's going to affect so many families, so many lives, so many other institutions around the airport. Why do we have to be here today to discuss this? Because it's politics. But we're about people. The Democrats are about people. And as you see my colleagues and my friends standing behind me, we keep our promises. and we promise that we will stand strong with Delta, and that when we go back in session, that we will do the right thing, and we will work hard for the people of the state of Georgia.
Good afternoon. My name is Charlie Fleming. I'm the president of the Georgia AFL-CIO, and we certainly want to congratulate Delta also for their 93 years and all the good things they've done in this community. The Georgia AFL understands that we need good business partners. Georgia Power, UPS, Sarah's company, companies that allow workers the right to choose to form a union if they like to, but more importantly, companies that are in the community doing the good work that Delta has done for 93 years. You know, you're going to hear a lot of talk from Mr. Cagle and Mr. Kemp in regards to being the #1 state for business. But I'm so excited as the leader of the Georgia AFL-CIO that our slate of candidates, the candidates that we are supporting, believe that there should be 2 Georgias. One, a state that all businesses can survive and we can be #1, but also a state where workers can thrive. Workers can thrive. Stacey Abrams has said that your beginnings shouldn't dictate to where you end up. That every Georgian should have the opportunity to prosper and raise their families and have a good education and all the things that we care about as workers and community. So I want to say thanks to DuBose for allowing me to come by. I know I wish Delta was a union company, but they're not. That's up to the workers. But I do appreciate the opportunity, and I do thank them for all their service to this great state. Thank you.